desire. The universe is ready to yield to you. You don't have to justify. You've had someone teach you that you need to justify. You better have a very good reason for asking for what you're asking for. But that's not the way the universe at large is. That's not who your inner being is. Your inner being is ready and willing and able to shower you with the blessings and the details that you've been asking for. You just have to give yourself permission to ask. Think about it. This matters. We've been talking all day about you being in the receptive mode. We've been talking about this vortex that has all the things in it that you've been putting there, and our ability to be in there, to see it, to know it, to understand it. And we are projecting a signal that is so powerful. Who's in the receptive mode? You are. You are. Even when you want something, that means you're in the receptive mode. For a desire to even occur to you, you're in the receptive mode. You just got to run with it and not kill it with your doubt. You got to say, I got an idea. That means I'm in the receptive mode, and that means it can be a reality. It can be a see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it manifestation. It can be all of that because I want it. I received it. Where do you think your desires come from? Because you're in the receptive mode. We just want you to stay there, which was what your brilliant question was about. How can I stay there longer? How can I stay in the receptive mode longer? So when you are broadcasting, that's how you set your receiving mode. What you broadcast is what you're receiving. What you broadcast is how you set your receiving mode. So if you're broadcasting from this state of alignment, as we said earlier, the energy that creates worlds is flowing through you in such a powerful way that it overrides what anybody else is doing. It doesn't matter what they're thinking about you. What they're thinking about you doesn't affect you if what you're broadcasting has the concert of all that you are flowing with you. You see what we're getting at? But if you've been like most, and you have domineering someones in your life who want you to care about what they think, who have convinced you that it's their allegiance and alignment that you need, but their allegiance and alignment is not in sync with what Source knows about you. When you hook up with what humans want about you, the receptive mode's something down here. When you hook up with the receptive mode of your inner being, it's a whole different vibrational frequency, you see. And so we talked about this earlier, that when you care about how anybody is receiving you, that's always what introduces the resistance and doesn't allow you to get the momentum going. That's always what it is. Now we know, we keep offering words like don't give a rip and don't care, but there's also this thing called law of attraction, or this being an inclusion-based universe. There's no resistance. So you can't not care, because in the not caring, you're caring about what you're not caring about. So when we say just don't care, just don't give a rip, we're not giving you anything that you can use. We're just telling you, in answer to your question, why it isn't working. But what does work is turning your attention to what does feel good. What does work is turning your attention toward the things that you can find pieces of. And that's what you were not willing to do with us. And we understand it's a big room and there's some bit of self-consciousness, but you are sort of stubbornly determined to stand in your place of hardship. It's almost like you want to overcome the hardship so that the others will understand something. You can't overcome hardship. It's so interesting. We watch so many people that are now in the successful place that you are on your way to, who want to explain how hard it was that they got there, because they're still listening to all of the people who are upset that they're not there yet, and they're trying to soothe those that aren't there yet. But that doesn't work. You've got to reach the place where you accept that it's easy, and then it will be easy, and then you got to say to everyone, whether they're willing to listen or able to hear it in the way you mean it, it was easy. It was easy. I made it a struggle a lot longer than I needed to, but when I finally figured it out, it was easy. Question is why? You said why? Why was it easy? It was easy because the energy was already there, and the momentum had already been gathered, and the stuff was already aligned. It was easy because I just had to do one little piece. I just had to relax a little. I just had to trust a little. I just had to believe a little. I just had to try a little less hard. I just had to stop justifying and rationalizing and defending. I had to stop the struggle and the effort and the defense and the blame. I just had to stand and let it come, which meant I had to feel worthy without justification. Isn't that just the most incredible thing? I've got to feel worthy without justification. How can I do that when I've been justifying and justifying and justifying and it hasn't been coming? That's why. It doesn't come. Your worthiness cannot be presented to you in the form of blessings that you all deserve when you feel that you have to justify your worthiness, you see. You got to give that up. We're making so much more of this than it deserves. Don't argue for your limitations, and don't take score of what is. Spend more time in the vortex. What do you think's in there anyway? It's really funny. Here's this vortex, all ripe and ready and really eager. Well, we are the eager ones to show it to you. And you're over there saying, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. And we say, that's why. That's why. You got to look where it is and feel like it feels. So pick any subject and let's do it. Well, this is a leading edge conversation, and something that's going to happen to a lot of you during these days that we are together is that you're going to actually feel the hands-on effect of being in the receptive mode. The receptive mode just means you're receiving something. So you could be in the receptive mode of what your vortex is offering up, or you could be in the receptive mode of something that a feeling of vulnerability is offering up. In other words, you could be in the receptive mode of what overwhelmment offers, or what appreciation offers, or what vulnerability offers. In other words, you're always in the receptive mode. So if you just start there by acknowledging that whatever is occurring to you, whatever thoughts are coming to you, whatever manifestations are happening, they are happening in direct relationship with whatever receptive mode you're in. An easier way of hearing it is whatever mood you're in. So that's elementary, isn't it? In other words, you understand that. You all do, don't you? You understand that. So now let's add another factor to that. And let's call that factor momentum. And let's talk about why momentum happens. Momentum happens because you give your attention to something. You give your attention to something, and then something manifests, and then you give your attention to something, and something manifests, and you give your attention to something, and something manifests. You have it so good because you're out here on the manifesting edge. You're out here on the edge where whatever you've got going on is showing itself to you moment by moment by moment by moment by moment. You have no excuse to be oblivious about what your vibrational countenance is, because the things that are manifesting around you are evidence of what it is. There's two ways to know what you've got going on vibrationally and how law of attraction is responding to it. The first way is it's manifesting. The second way is you can feel it. We'd like the second way to be the first way. You can feel it. So the reason that we are talking about the rumble strips is because if you are aware of the way you feel, and you sort of kind of like that feeling, so you focus there, it will become more and more and more and more and more. You could take any thought of minor importance, and you could focus on it and bring it to a place of momentous importance, and it would manifest in this day. Every single one of you could do that with anything that is important to you. This is the power of the universe that you've got working with you. This is the power of the focus of source energy that you've got working with you. You have tools at your fingertips. You have the energy that creates worlds flowing through you, you see. You can be or do or have anything, but you've got to break it down in some way that you know that you are doing it. So we would suggest that you pick something, that is of some importance to you, and you decide that you're going to focus on it until you can show yourself in one day. You can show yourself how the momentum gathers around that subject in one day. From the point of just being able to talk about it to the point of feeling fairly good feeling emotion about it, to the point of really feeling excitement about it, to the point of it manifesting in one day. You can do that. You can do that. And you do it all the time. That's what's so funny about this conversation. You do those things all the time. You just don't know that you're doing them. And so you don't give yourself the credit of focus that you deserve to give yourself the credit of focus. Just a day. You see, did you hear what he said, and did you resonate with it? Some. I've been doing this. How do I get the money out of the vortex and into the bank? When does it come to me? But you see, you can't talk about why the drought is unpleasant and attract the rain. You can't talk about what's missing and allow what's missing to be fulfilled. You've got to find a way to look at until you allow yourself. You see, you don't have to build the momentum in the vortex. The momentum is already built. You ask, and the momentum is already gathered, and it's huge and ready for you to receive it. Is it too big for you to receive it? No, not at all. Could you get ready to receive it? Yes. Are you ready right now? No. Could you get ready? Yes. Are you ready now? No. Could you get ready? Yes. Are you ready now? No. Could you get ready? Yes. Are you ready? No. Do you want to get ready?
Yes.
You want to get ready?
Yes.
So, do you believe that there is a vibrational version of things that you want?
Yes.
And do you think that you could find any words for them, or is it just a big, murky mess of a mist of little pieces of things that you've thrown into it? Or do you think there's anything in that that you could define and see? It isn't easy to go there because you don't have the momentum, but we promise you the momentum will come fast. You see, it's easy to tell the other story because that momentum's there. It's easy to say all of those things. That's what the rappers are all doing. And it just flows. Have you ever heard anything flow like that? In other words, they can tell you about all of the dysfunctions and injustices of life, and they can do it in such a poetic way that you begin to believe them that that's how it is.
Yes.
But it's not how it needs to be.